I would like for us to take a quick look at our syllabus. On page 2, for example, you have our goals and objectives. These objectives listed here are foundational to most of the assignments that we have in this course. So please pay attention to those. They are even worded within some of the assignments, where at least you will see them in the form with the form questions as they're posted each week. These are very important for a good, successful completion of this course. I'd like to point out just a few things here in the syllabus that I want to make sure that you do not miss. The textbooks, of course, we have the Bible, version of your choice. We have Matt Boswell's Doxology and Theology, How the Gospel Forms the Worship Leader. And this is a practical book. These are discussions, chapters from various worship leaders that have much to say about their personal relationship with God in worship, and also how they function as a worship leader in the church. The next one, David Peterson's Engaging with God, I think it's one of the foundational books for my understanding and perception of biblical theology of worship. And I hope you really engage also in the reading of this book and also engage with God. He gives the biblical foundation, understanding of worship all the way back from the Old Testament, throughout the New Testament times, throughout the New Testament scriptures, and into today, and how this should be applied today. So it's the biblical foundation. Stuart Sheehan's Worship from the Ground Up also includes a lot of the biblical foundation for worship, but also provides a historical outlook as to how the development of worship practices came about, what happened throughout the centuries of church history. So this gives us a very broad overview of the history of the church worship practices in the church. Following that, just below this, on page 3 of the syllabus as it stands in this format right now, you have a series of articles that will have to do with preparing worship services, with worship practices today, and also the different lines of thought of styles of worship services, also liturgy and so forth. So these are not textbooks, these are articles that you should really read thoroughly if possible. Pay close attention to those articles. If you could begin reading them before they are actually assigned in the week, I think would be beneficial to you, just because a couple of them are a little more lengthy than the others, and maybe too much that one week to read all of them. But you can plan it ahead and make sure that you covered all of those. We have different assignments, various assignments, which you will read in your syllabus. I don't need to go in depth in this talk, but we will have questions in the forum every week, and I expect you to respond to that. They will be posted probably Sunday night for the week, and at least by Wednesday at the latest you should be responding the first time. And then each student will engage, responding to them, thinking together. It will be like a discussion time, obviously online. We're not face to face, but at the same time this will be the place where we'll meet and discuss ideas and begin to grow in the area of worship. There will be some Bible studies from Old Testament verses, scriptures, and from the New Testament also as an assignment. You will find that listed in your syllabus. Book reviews on page 4, within the paragraph that talks about book reviews, you have a brief sketch of how each review should be. You will be planning a worship service towards the end of the course. And there is a section about this, and of course you'll be observing also some specific worship service and writing some observations about that. Class notebook is listed also on page 5, and this is basically just a collection of all the notes, all the forum questions and responses that you have written, and even from the other students. You should just collect that. All this is electronic. You're not turning in a portfolio in writing, a printed portfolio, But it should contain the syllabus as it is to begin with, all the assignments that you turn in, also your term paper. So basically a whole portfolio of this course containing all your notes from the forms, the questions, all the assignments together, any notes, extra notes that maybe you have written. So any other relevant material that has to do with a course, you could put it all in there just electronically as one file. That is your notebook. So it's an e-notebook, an electronic notebook, if you will. On page 5, you have the actual schedule of classes, which is basically an outline of each week, what the class topics will be and what your assignments will be. And below that, you have a checklist, which is to help you as you plan your service project, your church worship service project. And you should consider all those details. And then you have a form for worship observation form. You should fill in, of course, and then write your observations below. And lastly, in the syllabus, you have a bibliography of approximately 4 or 5 pages at this point. Make sure that you pay attention to all these details in the syllabus so nothing is forgotten. Everything has its due time. Stay in communication with me. Any questions, feel free to contact me. You can text me or call me or send me an email, and I will do my very best to answer your question and help you